We're now going to shoot the installation video for the Athena range of products, which will be exactly the same for installation as the Avista, as the only difference is the Avista will come with a push button tank rather than a digital. So in your box, you will receive the tank, a single filter, and the tap with all the fittings. Okay, so this is the Athena and Avista tap. Again, all the hoses are pre-plumbed, all the hoses are labelled, and you also get all the fittings that you require for installation. Okay, so prior to installing the tap onto the sink, remove the tap fixings, and then put the silicone tube, the blank end, and then the two hoses with nuts. Feed those through the hole. Okay, and then we'll go under the sink to fix it with the screws. Okay, the four hoses are now through, so we take the rubber and the metal circular washer and just thread the whole four hoses through, and then the horseshoe screws effectively pointing upwards, goes over and around the four hoses, and then that screws on to the screw base of the tap. When you've threaded the horseshoe fully onto the tap thread, okay, and it can go no further, using a posi screwdriver, tighten the two screws up so that they tighten on to the sink and effectively the metal washer, and that will keep the tap rigidly in place. Okay, first part of the installation, the two chrome fittings screw on to the end of your ISO valves, like so, and then just make sure they are fully tightened so that we get no leaks at all. Okay, and then hose number one, which is the cold feed, screws directly then onto the cold feed fitting that you've just installed, and then hose number two, hot feed, exactly the same, onto your hot water feed. Next part of the installation is hose number three, which comes directly from the tap, plugs straight into the inlet on the filter. Okay, and then hose number four plugs directly into the outlet of the filter. And what I'm now going to do is I'm just going to put the retaining clips in so that the hoses can't pop out. The filter's got its attachments. I'm literally just going to hook it onto the side of the cabinet just to keep it secure like that. Right, now we're going to bring the tank in to the cabinet. We're going to then affix the nipple to the hot water outlet, like so. Tighten it on so we get a good seal, making sure the washer is in there. The silicone tube, hose number five, there's a circlip. You put the circlip on like that. You then push it onto the top of the nipple, working it down, which just takes a little bit of manoeuvring, and then using a pair of pliers you open the circlip like so, bring it down over the silicone tube which is on the nipple, let it go, and that will hold it in place. Our final connection is hose number four, which is bringing the filtered water, scale filtered water from the filter into the blue outlet on the tank. And again, we'll just do a final tighten up with a spanner, and that's the product installed. So we'll now switch the water back on, commission the tank, and it should be operational. Okay, final thing to do now is to plug into the 13 amp socket, put the end of the power cord into the back of the tank, switch the power on, press and hold the central light for 2 seconds. That brings it to life. We'll then set the tank to heat to 98 degrees, and again the heating light's on. You can see this bar is flashing. That's telling you that it's going through a heat cycle. So when it gets to 98 degrees, we'll give you a demo of the tap functions. Okay, the Avista range comes with a push button tank which delivers water at a constant 98 degrees, no deviation of temperature. The Athena range comes with the premium digital tank where you can alter the temperature to suit your needs. Regular hot and cold on that valve. Press the safety button, rotate the valve back, and that is your 98 degree water. Just a couple of points on the safety mechanisms. You can't operate the boiling valve at all without first pushing the safety button. You then have to twist and hold the valve. There's a 1.5 second delay on the water delivery, and as soon as you release the valve, it springs back into place and shuts the water flow off. And clearly with any boiling water tap, the one thing you never do is put your hand under the water flow.